Yo, what is going on, guys? This is Online from HD. Guys, welcome back to another video. So guys, today we're going to be talking about The Last of Us 2 and whether or not it will be shown off in 8 days at E3 2016 or whether or not it's further down on the horizon. So as you guys know, there are rumors going around right now talking about Ellie's mother possibly being the main premise of the story, at least having involvement in the story overall. If you guys saw the guys leaked in page, it was from Naughty Dog. I don't know why it always has this on their page, but pretty much I'm gonna pull this up right now, but I'll put this on the screen right now so you guys can see it. It's an Easter egg from Uncharted 4. I'm gonna get around that whole spoiler section of the game. I'm not gonna go talk about that because I know some of you guys haven't played Uncharted 4 yet or haven't beaten the game for yourself yet, but pretty much what it shows is The Last of Us American Daughters, published by Dark Horse Comics. It's kind of like a poster of a comic sort of thing, and it shows a pregnant woman with the gas mask with the revolver in her hand, kind of like in the Last of Us universe. This is Anna from the Last of Us whole storyline, this whole timeline. As you guys know, Ellie mentioned her a couple times within the story. She's good friends with Marlene, and you know, the whole Firefly things, and she ended up dying, I think it was a couple days after Ellie's birth, or right away after Ellie birthed, something about that. So some people think she's gonna have an involvement in the story. Overall, I don't think she's gonna be the main premise of the story. I think they're gonna finish the whole Joel and Ellie thing. Well, not finish it, but keep, going on with the characters. But I think they're gonna add this kind of plot into the story, so to speak, kind of like how Uncharted 4 was hinted about Henry Avery. It's obviously not gonna only be Henry Avery, but he had a part in the story, kind of like how Ellie's mother might have a part in the story, if you guys know what I mean. But pretty much, I'm gonna read what his synopsis said right here. It said, "The Last of Us American Daughters. The poster was created as an in-game asset for Uncharted 4. Such a treat to work on. Also, I can't elaborate on the narrative to this image." So, a narrative to this image. That obviously means that this image isn't just for kicks or anything, not mocking the whole comic thing or, having a reference. This obviously does have some kind of point, but kind of like in Uncharted 3 when you saw the whole post-apocalyptic kind of virus thing going around in the newspaper. That's kind of like the same thing going on here, so this is possibly hinting towards it. And the cool thing about that is, Uncharted 3, when it had that Easter egg, The Last of Us was announced maybe a month afterwards. So we're looking how Uncharted 4 came out on May 10th. That E3 is coming up literally about a month afterwards. So this is fitting with this timeline. So now I'm going to be going into the whole, not about what The Last of Us 2 could possibly be, but when we could possibly see The Last of Us 2 announcement. Some people think it will be announced at E3 2016 when Sony has its press conference later that Monday night. As for me, I wrote down a couple notes here of the whole main factors of what's going on with the whole, development team of The Last of Us. So obviously we know after The Last of Us, they had a whole development team since about 2013, so it's been about 3 years. That's a really good development time. So, the thing is, there's a little bit of factors into this whole situation. So, The Last of Us obviously wrapped up around May of 2013, around the end of May, I think it was around that, or no, it was the beginning of May, before the game shipped off. So that means it leaves about 3 years since the development of The Last of Us, which The Last of Us 2 could be in possible development, but it's not that easy. So there's some factors into this whole thing. As you guys know, that Amy Hennig departed from Naughty Dog. We don't know yet if she was still kicked or if she was, laid off, or if she left on her own good terms or anything. We know it's probably not good terms since they haven't really talked about it at all. But that happened in March 2014, so that's about 2 years ago, a little over 2 years ago. And pretty much what happened, I think you guys already know the story. Neil and Bruce, from the creators of The Last of Us, they were assigned to the Uncharted 4 team, so to speak. So that means they had to switch projects over to Uncharted 4 and carry that as their main project lead. So that means that The Last of Us team would be left, I'm guessing they're going to have some other guy or some other position, or they could have also Neil Bruce also filling in for the Souls. It's not so clear yet whether or not it's the same. People are like, oh, Naughty Dog always releases or announces their game 6 months later, but yeah, Naughty Dog never had Amy Hennig departed. They never thought that was going to happen. So there's a little bit of factors. So that's the main factor, is Amy Hennig's departure. That is probably the main factor into this development of the game, and probably why we're not going to see it at E3 2016, although it's still a possibility, and I'm still, holding out hopes for that game, because I really, really want to see a sequel to The Last of Us and see Joel and Ellie once again. But the second main factor is also Left Behind's development. Naughty Dog never did a whole story DLC before The Last of Us came along, so that means they had to have development of The Last of Us team work on to The Last of Us Left Behind. So, immediately after the game came out, they probably didn't start working on The Last of Us. A team probably started working on it, but it was a smaller team. But also, another smaller team, if you guys can follow me where I'm going here, is also working on Left Behind. So that means, not as many people are working on The Last of Us itself. So that's a main factor as well. And also, the third final factor is also The Last of Us Remastered. As you guys know, it took about a year for Naughty Dog to make The Last of Us Remastered. I think it was only a small team of maybe 10 people. I forgot how many people they said, but it was a pretty small team. So those are three main factors: is The Last of Us Remastered, Last of Us Left Behind, which they never done those two before, you made a remastered. So those are obviously, it's not been just 3 years of work on The Last of Us 2. They've had other projects in mind ahead of Uncharted 4. So it's possible that The Last of Us 2 could be shown off at E3 2016, just in here about a week or two. But it's not looking likely based on what it is, but there is still a possibility because Neil Druckmann has been asked many times, you know, what's after Uncharted 4, and I think they've announced that they already, you know, been working on The Last of Us 2, and I'm pretty sure it's safe to assume that they are working on The Last of Us 2 by now. Everybody thinks the same, so what is the whole Easter egg for? What is all this, you know, LinkedIn of the worker about a year and a half ago of him working on The Last of Us 2? It just all adds up to The Last of Us 2, and I don't think it's more of the question of, you know, what game it's going to be, but more about when this game's actually going to be announced, you know, to the public. So, Neil always been asked on Twitter and everything what's going on with, like, you know, after Uncharted 4, and he's always said he has a second project, so that, to me, hints that he's going to be one of the main leads on The Last of Us 2, at least starting now. So, even though they left, I guess that Neil Druckmann and Bruce Straley are both working on both projects, are kind of being the lead on both projects. I think that they've been working on The Last of Us 2 alongside with Uncharted 4, but I don't think it's going to be as much towards Last of Us 2. I think they are mainly focusing on Uncharted 4, but they're also working on The Last of Us 2. So whether or not those 3 years have, you know, kind of like a cluster of, you know, things that happened, whether it was The Last of Us Left Behind or the Remastered or Amy Hennig leaving. So we don't know how much time, we don't work at Naughty Dog, so we don't know how much time was into Last of Us 2 and how much they've been working on it truly by, you know, what, besides the Uncharted 4 team. So they have 200 people working at Naughty Dog, and obviously 100, like, about half the team. I'm not sure how many people that is. I don't think it's, like, quite 100. That's a little bit too big. But, you know, they have 2 teams, so obviously, I'm kind of going on a rant here. This is not really supposed to be a formal kind of video. I'm just going on a rant of what I'm saying here. But obviously, we already know that Last of Us has, Naughty Dog itself has 2 teams, so we know that they're working on 2 projects always at a given time. So that just means that, you know, when Last of Us 2 is going to be up, you know, there's obviously different theories. My prediction is that Last of Us 2 will be announced at PSX 2016, although I do have my hesitations because at Shuhei Yoshida, he, like, said during the panel of last year's PSX that, you know, based on the kind of like the okay key announcement, you know, the keynote was okay on PSX. There wasn't really main announcements. And he said that PSX is more for, like, the smaller developers and more, you know, for, like, the gamers just to be there and, you know, try out new games and everything. It's not really big for the main press, you know, obviously, like, E3 is, like, the biggest gaming event for the press as well. So, not the big game announcements are not happening at E3, at PSX. Sorry, yeah, PSX. It doesn't matter, it doesn't mean that they can't be announcing anything at PSX. As you guys know, Uncharted 4 was announced at the PlayStation 4 launch, you know, so obviously anything can happen. So my time frame is, I'm guessing that Last of Us 2 will be announced anywhere between, like, PSX 2016 and E3 2017, somewhere in that 6-month margin. Although we could see it next month, I'm just going for the safer route because I don't think that The Last of Us 2 will be announced in about 8 days or so. I mean, it's possible, it could be possible. I mean, it is possible, but, you know, it's not likely. I'd give it like a 30% that it is, but I think that it's like almost 100% that will be announced between E3 2017 and going back to PSX 2016. So yeah, guys, sorry for that little ramble today. This was a topic I really wanted to cover because I had pretty good thoughts on it. Let me know down in the comments down below what you guys think. When will this game finally be announced? When will Naughty Dog's new project be announced? And when can we start counting down towards that new game that's going to be coming out? Maybe 2018, 2017, but 2018, 2019, you know, on the further horizon there. But yeah, anyways, guys, let me know what you guys think in the comments down below. When do you guys think this game will announce? What do you think it will be about? Do you think it's going to be about Ellie's mother, or do you think that's only going to be a part of the story and we're going to continue Joel and Ellie's story? So yeah, guys, let me know in the comments down below. I've been online. Thank you guys so much for watching the video. If you guys like my content here, make sure to subscribe and like the video. And then make sure to like the video if you guys like the video and want to see more of the content here. And anyways, guys, I've been online, and I'll see you guys in the next video. Peace out, guys.